Verse 11 continues, Ke idomen enipnion amphotori enikti mia. And we saw a dream, both in one night. Nikti, nocturnal is a derivative. Ego ke aftos, I and he. Ekastos kata to aftu, enipnion idomen. Each according to his dream saw. So each had a different dream. In the aki methimon nianiskos, pes ivreos. And there was with us a young Hebrew servant. To Archimagiru of the chief guard. Ke the gisamatha afto, and we described to him. Ke sinechrinen imin, and he interpreted to us. In verse 13, Aganithi they kathos sinechrinen imin, and it came to pass as he interpreted to us, utoke sinavi, it also came to pass. Emete apokatastathine epi tin arkin mu. Both me being restored to my office, the arkin, this has to do with an office. A monarch would be a derivative. Ekinu they kremasthine, and that one being hanged. Verse 14. Apostilas they Pharao, and Pharaoh, having sent Ekalase ton Iosif, called for Joseph. Ke exigagon afton apo to ochiromatos, and they led him forth from the fortress. Ke exirisan afton, and they shaved him. Ke ilaksan tin stolin aftu, and they changed his apparel. This elaksan, elax, we have a parallax, a changing of direction, a paroxysm, an outburst, as derivatives. They changed his stolene. A stole was a type of a covering of women wore back in the 30s or so. Ke ilthe pros Pharao, and he came to Pharaoh. So now they've taken Joseph finally out of this dungeon or where he was at for all these years and dressed him up, and now he comes before Pharaoh. And to come before Pharaoh was almost unheard of for even the average Egyptian. Go into Egyptology and you'll see that and the Pharaoh was like a god. It was almost equal to God. They had gods, but yet the Pharaoh was considered to be tied into them while he was on this earth until he left. And so this man was one of the most powerful men in the world. Egypt at this time was a world power. It had a high civilization, probably the highest civilization at that time. And here this Hebrew slave is coming before this powerful man. The two forces meet. The force of God's chosen and the force of the world's powerful. In verse 15, Ipe de Pharao pros Yosef, and Pharaoh said to Joseph, Anipnion eoraka, I have seen a dream. Ke o synkrinon uk astin afto, and there is no one interpreting it. Ego de achihoa perisu, but I have heard about concerning you. Legonton, saying, Akusata se enipnia synkrine afta. In your hearing dreams, you interpret them. In 16, Apokrithis de Iosif to Pharao ipen. And Joseph answering to Pharaoh said, Anev tu theu uk apokrithisate to soterion Pharao. Without God, deliverance shall not be answered to Pharaoh. Whoa, what a thing to tell this man who is considered to be God by all these people, equal to God, and saying that without God, there's not going to be an answer. There won't be deliverance. So I underline this because it's salvation in the New Testament, and I just over and over in the Old Testament just doesn't fit. salvation. It has nothing to do with salvation as far as going into heaven. It has to do with being delivered. And so he says that this is only with God. In other places in the Bible, we have in Daniel 1:17, the other dream interpreter. Only Daniel and Joseph really have this ability, or given to them by God. It says, and God gave to them understanding, intelligence, in all academics. That's the other young Hebrews in bondage at Nebuchadnezzar, and wisdom. And Daniel perceived in every vision and in dreams. So he had this power to understand these dreams. And we also have in Acts 2:17 a quote of Joel 2:28. You can go to Joel 2:28 and I'll have the same thing, but I'm showing you here what the New Testament says. And it will be in the last days, says God, I will pour out from my Spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams. I'm an old man. I'm almost going to be 70 in my 70th year in a few months, and I do dream a lot, and my dreams don't make a bit of sense. And I don't exactly, doesn't say here that they are going to be interpreting dreams. It's just your old men shall dream dreams. It's interesting. Just thought I'd point that out to you. And we'll go back then to our text. And so here, this dream interpreter is now telling Pharaoh that this dream is only answered, only the power only comes through God. In verse 17, Alala say they Pharaoh to Yosef, and Pharaoh spoke to Joseph, Legon, and to ipnomu omin estane para tohilos to potamu. In my sleep I imagined standing by the edge of the river. So now he's going to give him this whole dream. Ke osper ek to potamu anevenon epta voes. And from out of the river ascended 7 oxen, kale to ithi, ke eklekte te sarksi, good to the sight and choice in the flesh, ke enemon to en to aki, and they fed at the reed grass. 19. Ke idhu, and behold, epta voes etere, anevenon, opiso afton ek to potamu. And another 7 oxen ascended after them from the river. Ponire ke iskre to ithi, sorry state and shameful to the sight. Ke lepte tes sarxine, and thin in the flesh. Ias uk idon tiaftas, and oli gi Aegyptu, iskroteras, what thing such as I saw not, a shameful thing in the entire land of Egypt. They're horrible. Ke katephagon e epta voes e iskre ke lepte tas epta voas. And the 7 shameful and thin oxen ate up tas epta voas, the 7 oxen. Tas protas, the first, prototype, the first one. Ke kalas, ke tas eklektas, and the good and the choice. Ke isilthon is tas kilias afton, ke u diadili, and they entered into their bellies. Ke u diadili agenonto, it became apparent that isilthon, they entered into their bellies. Ke e opsis afton iskre, and as their appearance was shameful. Katha ke tin arkin, as at the beginning. Exegerthis they, awakening, ekimethin, I went back to bed.